Hello, good afternoon. Today I'm welcome Katherine Geren. She's an actress. Basically, she's a writer as well, and she's do modeling and commercials, and she wrote and starred in many short films. So good afternoon, Katherine. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. Catherine, I've been seeing your Internet Movie Database and all the previous links on about yourself online. I see that you were born in San Francisco. My understanding is San Francisco is more of a shooting location, with many action scenes shot. I remember Bullet and with Steve McQueen and Streets of San Francisco with Michael Douglas and The Rock with Nicolas Cage. Many action scenes because of the streets up there are tempting, to do car chases. But tell me, is it possible for a young actor or an actress to be cast in San Francisco, or he or she should venture and go to LA or New York, where the main agencies and the industry up there?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you kind of said it yourself that there are a lot of things that film there, but it's not like LA. LA has
Mhm.
productions constantly. I mean, there's commercials, there's print work, there's movies, there's TV. And in San Francisco, the productions maybe happen on that scale, like maybe once or twice a year, like a big production comes in. And most of the time they actually cast a lot of actors out of Los Angeles and then have them travel to San Francisco because the pool of talent in San Francisco is much smaller than Los Angeles. But because the pool is much smaller, that means for the smaller jobs that, there is a really great commercial market because a lot of the tech companies need to produce content
Mhm.
constantly. And there's a lot of also fashion brands that are based in San Francisco. So there is work. There definitely is work if you want to be like a working commercial actor. You can definitely do that in San Francisco and in the greater Bay Area at large. But if you really want to make it in film and television, then I think you got to make the 5 hour drive and move to Los Angeles.
Yes, but did you study acting and modeling in San Francisco before you made your move?
Yes, I got started there. Kind of out of the blue. I was going to college in San Francisco and I got scouted by talent agents while kind of just shopping downtown in San Francisco. And it happened multiple times. I think the first time I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I'll that's strange. I didn't give it much thought. And then it happened like two more times where people stopped me and they're like, have you ever thought about getting into modeling or acting? You have a great look. Here's my card. And this was before really social media was really big and the internet, I mean, of course it was there, but it's not like it was today. So there wasn't like a whole bunch of information out there about acting and modeling. And I think that's what's really great about nowadays is that, you can research agencies, you can research things, you can research on how to get into the business. But back then I just was kind of like, I'm young. Sure, I'll try it. I don't really know much about it. And so I signed with a talent agency and started working commercially. Like I'd book commercials every now and then, and it was great. I mean, back then as a college student, like making that type of money was like mind blowing to me. And it kind of opened my eyes. I think I always knew I wanted to be in a creative field. I just didn't know where I would land. And in college, I had a really hard time deciding even what my major would be. So I think it solidified once I started getting on set and meeting other creative people that this is where I'm supposed to be. And I've always loved writing. And I kind of kept that secret for a while. I was really shy about it because I didn't have formal training on being a writer. So once I made the move to Los Angeles to really further my career in the TV and film world, I started meeting so many creatives, and that's what's so great about Los Angeles is that, I mean, it's filled with creative people. It's like everyone in Los Angeles is coming here to make their dream come true. So I just met so many amazing people that really put a lot of confidence in me to start exploring my work and my voice as a writer. And I just started writing for fun. And after like a year or so of writing for fun and showing it to my friends, people started responding. They're like, "This is really good. We should shoot this." And I was like, "Okay." And so that's kind of how I started just shooting my own content because I just loved it so much. I loved creating. I loved, bringing creatives together and seeing work come to life. And on a whim, I submitted to the LA Film Festival in 2017. They were doing a short film contest with Danny Elfman's film scores, which he's a very famous composer. And he lent, I think it was 4 film scores to short film filmmakers to write a short film around his film scores. And so I chose a score, wrote a film like over the weekend, acquired a crew, and we shot it, I think, within 2 days and submitted it with, I think, literally 1 minute to spare before the deadline ended. And then we ended up winning fan favorite with over 500,000 views. And I got to go to the LA Film Festival, and it was judged by Oscar winners, and got to see the films and meet the other filmmakers. And that was definitely the highlight of my career. And I think it really solidified that, okay, I have something here.
Yes. Yes. Which Danny Elfman score did you choose?
I have to look back on what the names were. They
Of
were
course, he did a lot of films for Tim Burton, like Batman and
very famously Tim Burton, and a lot of
Beetlejuice, and his
ex-
scores,
exactly.
Sleepy
They weren't any
Hollow.
of his exactly. They weren't any of his famous scores. They
Uh-huh.
were ones that were kind of in the same vein of those, but
Hmm.
I think they were written specifically for the short film contest.
Of course.
But it's a beautiful, beautiful film score. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, having to work with something of that caliber was so humbling, and so just it was so amazing to be able to use something like that to inspire us, because I think music really does play into to filmmaking. It really sets the tone of what a film can be like. And I think that's why, so many filmmakers, like Trent Reznor always works with, specific filmmakers all the time, because it's like they know exactly how to tell that the tone of the story, like the underlying tone is really what makes a story.
Yes. And sometimes that people mistake you for Kate Beckinsale, or never happened before.
That's nice. Sure, I get Sandra Bullock a lot. I get Eva Mendez, not Eva Mendez, sorry, Eva Longoria. Um, yeah, yeah, but I haven't heard that one, but that's very nice.
Yes, she before she came to the United States, she did a lot of film in United Kingdom, and you look like her very much in her first films. Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice.
Right now, after the film was released, was it online, like on Google Movies or Amazon? Yeah, people can watch it later on.
It is, yeah. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's also on opprime.tv, which is another short film streaming platform.
Uh-huh.
And then after that was released, I wrote another short film called Behind Her Eyes, and it's a
Uh-huh.
psychological thriller. And that was picked up by Amazon Prime, Shorts TV, and also OP Prime.
Uh-huh.
And that was really successful, and that was really fun to work on. It's very dark. It's very Shutter Island. I love psychological thrillers. I think that's my favorite film genre.
Yes. Yes. Hopefully, a
So
lot of you get to contact Brian De Palma or something for his next film.
exactly, exactly.
My
Yes.
favorite director. Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh really?
Yes.
um,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
But right now, I want to ask you, what did you decide to change your name from Catherine Roberts to Catherine Geren? This is like an artistic name, or
Katherine
what?
Geren is my legal name. It's the one I was born with. Katherine Roberts
Yes,
is my husband's name. That's his family
yes,
name. But
yes.
I decided that I wanted to go with my full legal name because number one,
Uh-huh.
oh my God, people are gonna
It's
people are
it's not
gonna
common as
yell at
well
me.
because Roberts is a very common name, by the way. But Garen, I
Exactly.
don't think is
I felt
common
that
like.
it was very common and kind of too common. And I never changed my name legally from Garen to Roberts. So it was always
Uh-huh.
very confusing and complicated to people when I would show them my ID, but then I'd call myself Roberts. And so I was just like, you know what? I'll just go with my legal name. I haven't changed anything. So yeah, that's what I was born with, but I'm actually adopted.
Yes.
So yes, so that's something very I feel very blessed with. I have the most amazing parents in the world. I'm just so grateful for them, and yeah, I think actually something that happened to me a few years ago is what inspired my latest project. Is my birth father contacted me out of the blue in 2017, right when I was turning 30, and it kind of
Excellent.
sent me with for kind of like a quarter life crisis. And that's what my new show, Elisa's Almost 30, is about. It's about a girl who's turning 30, and she doesn't have a husband or job or boyfriend or anything, by age 30, especially women, the things that we're supposed to have. And then out of the blue, her birth father contacts her. She didn't even know he existed. She thought that possibly he might have even passed, because she just never knew that there was a father out there. And then he wants to come back into her life, and so he it kind of, it's like finding herself amongst the chaos of also trying to establish a relationship with, you know someone
Mhm.
that she never thought she would ever meet.
Yes. I want to ask you about your parents and your husband. What do you think about watching you on the screen in psychological thrillers? And what do you think of your writing and your performance? Did you surprise them?
Yes, they go like, where did that come from, who, what's going on in there? No, they're super proud of me. More than anything, they're incredibly proud of my ability to convey stories to a screen. And so they find it, actually, my parents are drama geeks. I mean, I grew up going to the theater. My dad was a drama teacher. So they're very much into the craft of acting. So my parents
Excellent.
understand that.
Mhm.
Yeah, they understand that that's a different person on screen than me. Of
Yes.
course, sometimes it's funny. They're like, I can't believe you said that, because they still see their little girl, I'm sure, on screen. But for the most part, they really understand, and I'm really blessed with that. That they're able to separate my work from me as a person, because my short film was very dramatic, and it was very intense, and it was very emotionally intense. And they're just, yeah, I'm really glad. I've yet to come to having to do a sex scene on screen. I'm a little nervous for them if they ever have to watch a film and I have to do a sex scene. I'm a little nervous for that, but thankfully they get it.
Mhm. Yes. If you are a fan of psychological thrillers, me being born in the 70s, so maybe when I was 6, 7 years old, I started to discover thrillers. And I remember watching the first Amityville film with James Brolin in the cinema with my uncle, you know.
Uh-huh.
And of course, when I started to grow up and start to read about cinema, I started to discover Italian films in the 70s, and they used to call it giallo. It comes from the giallo is means yellow, you know, and it's and they call it this way because they were adapted, you know, from pulp fiction novels that used to have yellow papers. So many filmmakers from the 70s and the 80s, American, like John Carpenter, you know, like also Steven Spielberg, you know, all the people who did horror and, you know, they were influenced by the Giallo films, directors like Mario Bava and Dario Argento. And I don't know if you have seen the recent remake of Dario Argento film, you know, Suspiria. Have you seen Suspiria?
No, I haven't, but I'm gonna
Uh,
definitely look
Try to
into
see this movie because it's a horror film. Try to see the original, the Giallo, you know, because also Dario Argento had many actors working in America. Sometimes American actors used to go to Italy and work with him in some of his Italian production, you know,
Oh, wow.
and they play sometimes the villain, and they have many actors, you know, because it was unconventional for an American actor to play the villain, you know, especially if he's like a jeune premier or like a great actor in the States. But Suspiria is a great film, the original and also the remake that was presented in Venice Festival a couple of years ago. Tell me, do you have some project that you are filming or about to be released in the upcoming period?
Yes, I am actually. Well, thank you so much for sharing that first and foremost. I'm such a film buff and I love learning about those things. I'm actually back
Mhm.
in school to get my degree in screenwriting. So we have studied
Great.
some of those of what you talked about, but I'm definitely going to go and watch those because I love
Mhm.
for me watching films is like research for me.
Mhm.
I watch films and I really kind of try and dissect everything about them. That's what I do, and I love reading the screenplay like while watching. And but yeah, back to my project that I just recently. Oh, I'm actually currently filming it. It's Elisa's Almost 30, which is a comedy pilot. Bridesmaids meets Emily in Paris. It's coming together just fantastic. I mean, I'm blown away by the caliber of talent that I'm able to work with. I wrote this project years ago when my cousin Amber, who has since recently tragically passed away, she came to visit me in Los Angeles, and anyone that knew Amber knew just what a beautiful, amazing person that she was. I mean, just hilarious and compelling and interesting and just this amazing light that people were so attracted to. So everywhere we went in LA, we would get into these crazy situations. And at the end of her visit, I was like, I have to write a show about this. Like the what we got into is just like no one will believe it. It's insane. Like how do you get us into these situations? And so I wrote a show and I wanted her to be in it. And I kind of put it on the back burner because it is comedy and I was focusing more on dramatic work at that time. But then after she passed away and after my birth father contacted me, I definitely had a resurgence of wanting to tell this story. And I wanted people to see my comedic side. Um, and so I kind of reworked the script, made it much longer, made it into full 30-minute pilot. And and I couldn't be more proud of it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's compelling. I think it's interesting. And so funny. And thankfully, my good girlfriend and my acting teacher, she's actually like a mentor to me, Raquel Gardner. She's been acting in the industry for 30 years, plays iconic roles, Night at the Roxbury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She wanted to come on and direct it. And that was such a huge honor for me. And she and I really, I mean, we're like sisters now. We like went through this project and we did it. Like we were so blown away by what we were able to do. The cast is absolutely fantastic. We have Ryan Carnes, who's the male lead, who's been on General Hospital and Desperate Housewives. He's also executive producing along with me. We have Matt McCain playing another lead male role, and he's been in all the Judd Apatow films, Knocked Up, 40-Year-Old Virgin. We have Salida Ebanks playing my best friend, who's a Victoria's Secret model and has been on Real Husbands of Hollywood. Fantastic comedic timing. Manon Matthews, who's playing my roommate and bestie, female lead, and she is an incredible comedic talent, social media star with the millions of followers, billions of loops on Vine. And we had Don Morgan, the DP, is a 5-time Emmy Award winner, Lifetime Achievement Award winner. So it's a pretty amazing project. Like it's every time I look at the dailies, I'm just blown away by what we were able to film. The footage is so beautiful. Raquel had the most amazing vision for it, and I couldn't be happier with how it's coming together, and I can't wait to share it with the world.
Congratulations for this film. I'm enthusiastic as well about watching it. I hope we can attend the premiere next year or something with my wife.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're in the midst of post-production and
Mhm.
editing. So we
Mm.
hope to definitely premiere it in
Yes,
Los
we hope to
Angeles.
screen it
Yeah.
in Egypt as well in our short festival. Don't forget to
Oh,
submit it there.
wonderful. I would love that. That'd be amazing.
Yes. Yes, Catherine, I want to thank you very much with this interview, and as well wish you the best of luck for the editing and the post production of your new film. Looking
Thank
forward
you.
to a teaser trailer,
Yes,
and
that's what we're working on right now.
as well. Yes, good luck with your studies as well, and we hope to connect again when the film is released to speak about it in its premiere.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. But it's been such a pleasure, and thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you. Have a great day and best wishes. Looking forward to hear some good news from your side. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.